Okay, so let's get right into it. We're about to pull back the curtain on 5 totally free AI tools that are so ridiculously powerful, it honestly feels like you shouldn't be allowed to use them. And no, I'm not talking about some flimsy free trials. These are the real deal. Full-blown AI powerhouses just hiding out in plain sight.
You know, it's a pretty wild time to be alive, isn't it? While millions of people are paying for those big-name AI subscriptions, there's this whole other universe of tools that are just as good, and they cost absolutely nothing. These aren't just little toys. They can go toe-to-toe with the expensive stuff, and sometimes they even come out on top.
So my goal here is super simple. I'm going to expose these tools and show you exactly how to use them to your advantage. Seriously, by the end of this, you're going to have a new toolkit that feels like a cheat code for whatever you're working on.
All right, let's kick things off with our first category. This is all about completely changing the game for how you find information and how you create amazing-looking visuals, all in seconds and all for free. First up, we've got Perplexity AI. And look, I'm not being dramatic when I call it a Google killer. See, instead of just throwing a bunch of links at you that you have to dig through, Perplexity basically acts like your own personal research assistant. It goes out, finds the info, mashes it all together, and just gives you the answer. And the best part? It shows you its sources, so you know it's not just making stuff up.
And this is a huge shift in how we do things. The old way, scrolling through endless pages of blue links, having 15 tabs open, trying to stitch it all together yourself, that's just done. The new way is you ask a question, you get one perfect, synthesized answer instantly. It's such a massive upgrade.
And it's just so practical, right? Doesn't matter if you're a student trying to finish a paper, a professional who needs to quickly fact-check something before a big meeting, or just a curious person who wants to understand a complicated topic without reading a textbook, Perplexity has got your back. Okay, let's talk about our second tool, which is actually a 2-for-1 combo, Remove.bg and PhotoRoom. This duo gives you professional-level photo editing that can completely wipe out the need for pricey software like Photoshop, especially for one of the most annoying tasks ever. The math on this is it's staggering. A pro editor might charge you $50, maybe $100 to carefully cut out the background of a single photo. This tool, it does it in about 3 seconds, for free. And honestly, it's often more precise, especially with tricky stuff like hair. The value you're getting is just insane. And just think about who this helps. If you're selling stuff online, you can get perfect product shots without a fancy studio. If you're a content creator, you can whip up amazing thumbnails in minutes. Even if you're looking for a job, you can clean up your headshot to look more professional. For a small business, a tool like this could literally save you thousands of dollars a year.
All right, let's shift gears. Now we're going to talk about tools that don't just help you edit content, they actually create it for you. We're talking everything from voiceovers to entire presentations, all done automatically.
Okay, this next one is genuinely mind-blowing. It's called ElevenLabs, and it generates AI voices that are so shockingly realistic they're actually being used in Hollywood movies and professional audiobooks. We are not talking about those old robotic text-to-speech voices. These have real emotion, real inflection, they sound human. So what do you get for free? Every single month, you get 10,000 characters of text you can turn into voice. So what does that mean? Well, that's about 10 to 15 minutes of perfect studio-quality audio. If you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, or an educator, this is an absolute game changer. Now for a tool that's going to save you from a pain we've all felt, making slides. If you have ever wasted hours of your life messing around with text boxes and pictures in PowerPoint, Gamma.app is about to be your new best friend because it literally designs the presentation for you. And the process couldn't be any easier. You just give it a little prompt like, make a pitch deck for a new brand of coffee, and boom, in seconds, it spits out a complete, beautifully designed and well-structured presentation. It's not just a template, it's basically the finished product. Okay, for our final tool, things are going to get a little controversial. We're going to talk about the scrappy underdog that's taking on the most famous AI on the planet. And that tool is Claude AI. So here's the hot take. For a lot of really important tasks, especially when it comes to writing and deep analysis, Claude is actually better than ChatGPT. Let's just break this down. Sure, ChatGPT is still the king if you need real-time web browsing or a ton of integrations. But look where Claude shines. It can handle way longer conversations, its writing style just feels more natural and less AI-y, and it's surprisingly good at giving you really thoughtful analysis on complex stuff. And hey, that's not just my opinion. This is why some big companies are actually ditching ChatGPT and switching to Claude for their day-to-day work. They're finding it makes fewer mistakes, it's better at following complicated instructions, and it's just more effective for creating high-quality writing. It's a serious contender, and you can use it for free.
So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. What does having access to all of these incredible free tools actually mean for you right now?
The honest truth is, we are living through a very unique moment in time, an AI golden age. For right now, the power of these tools is way, way bigger than what companies are charging for them. And that creates this massive opportunity for anyone who's willing to jump in and learn this stuff.
So let's do a super quick recap of the powerhouses we just covered. You've got Perplexity for your research, Remove.bg for instant photo editing, ElevenLabs for pro-level voice generation, Gamma for presentations that make themselves, and Claude for next-level writing and analysis. That is an entire creative and productivity suite right there for $0.
So here's what you need to do. First, go bookmark these tools right now because who knows if they'll be free forever. Second, start thinking about how you can chain them together. Imagine using Perplexity for research, then feeding that to Claude to write a script, then giving that to Gamma to build his slides, and having ElevenLabs narrate the whole thing. And third, just start playing with them. The skills you build today are going to give you a massive advantage down the road.
We're in this amazing moment where the gap between what's possible and what it costs is basically zero. These tools are your unfair advantage. So really, the only question left is,